Election day is July the 15th, a Tuesday. It's an open primary. This race will be decided for the general election in this primary, so if you're interested in this race, you'll want to pick a Democratic ballot. Also, you can start early voting over Memorial Drive as early as the 8th of July. First question from a member of the audience, I'm going to paraphrase it a bit. There's a bit of fractiousness if any of you have recently witnessed or attended the DeKalb County Commission meeting. Some of that disagreeable nature spills over into the CEO and the board's relationship with the DeKalb County School Board. As CEO, leading by example, how do you intend to improve relations between county government and the DeKalb County School Board? If elected, what plans will you effectively put forth that are, using a quote of the list, not just lip service, but action?
Thank you, and that's an excellent question, near and dear to my heart. When I moved to DeKalb County 28 years ago, there was a very workable relationship between the school system and the county government. There are 3 positions currently in the CEO's office. One chief of staff, another chief of staff, and another chief of staff. One of those chief of staffs will become a school liaison officer with the sole responsibility to work with the County Board of Commissioners and the school system, their chief of staff, to look at ways that we can do better planning when it comes to where our schools are going to be located. In the past, that was done. Before a development was completed, there was acreage set aside for a school. We can return to that so that we don't have situations like we had at my grandson's school, where you have a school that's relatively new, 7 or 8 years old, and it looks like a ghetto with 15 or 20 trailers in back of it because we did not adequately plan. So first and foremost, we will have on our staff a school liaison officer whose sole responsibility will be to work with the county commission and the school board to make certain that we do better planning when it comes to zoning, when it comes to issues of parks and recreation. All of those things would come under the aegis of the school liaison officer.
Thank you. I have to give Ms. Steen Miles credit. I didn't realize that in my one position that there were 3 chiefs of staff, but I know that I worked so hard that it seems that way. Indeed, there is 1 chief of staff in the CEO's office. There's another one somewhere else. I want to say very quickly, the short answer is communication. Communication is how we work everything out. As a person who has taught human communication, as a person who lives in a human communication world, you have to understand that first you have to respect everyone, and you also have to just make sure that we don't challenge people. A gentleman named Ted Matthews, who was at the Campbell School of Theology at Mercer University, said something very interesting. And what he said was, and he preaches this and he teaches this, and that is whenever there are situations that are a little bit rambunctious and people are upset, you first have to show humility, that being the person. That's what I practice. You next have to show respect. And thirdly, you have to talk and speak in love. So what you have to do with the school board, no matter who it is, your children, PTA boards of which I'm a part of, or have been a part of rather. Now that my kids are out, I don't have to do that anymore. But in other areas of working with individuals, you really have to know the individuals. It's a relationship issue. I know the school superintendent. We went to school together. I know the board member who was here. I'm not going to put her on the spot, but if you know people and you can communicate in love, you show respect, and more importantly, you show humility, and you understand what the different ideals are, then you can get a whole lot more done than just talking at each other.
For 90 seconds, Burrell Ellis administration will put a premium on working by consensus. That's why we've been talking about a new consensus for a better DeKalb County. In sum, you deserve a CEO with credibility. And credibility really means 2 things. Number 1, it means the ability to do the job. I've spent the last 8 years as a DeKalb County Commissioner understanding county government from the perspective of an elected official, not someone who takes orders, but someone who has to exercise independent judgment in setting policy. I spent 5 of those years as the Commission's presiding officer, leading the charge on the Board of Commissioners as we've reorganized that department and built a stronger legislative branch of government. I chair the national organization of 100 largest urban counties. So it's the ability to do the job, but it's also trustworthiness. That's the other thing that credibility means. My colleagues didn't elect me presiding officer 5 times in a row just to further my political career. They did it because I was trustworthy. I let my yes mean yes, my no mean no, and I had a vision, and I worked with them actually pleasure to build a vision by consensus to further the work of DeKalb County government. It's credibility, the ability to do the job, and trustworthiness. That's how you build a relationship with the school board. That's how you build a relationship with the Board of Commissioners. Thank you.
The first thing I'll do is I'll hire a cabinet level person to be on my staff. The way that I'll lead by example is the Lord didn't give everybody the same call. When I come out with my new solutions and my new approaches, and when the world recognizes my strength when it comes to doing things, there'll be folks stealing my material. And when they start stealing my material, we'll get something done. Anything that I do it well. The school system, they've spent 62 cents out of every dollar. It's unfortunate that they didn't have anybody there to influence them and steer them in the right direction. They spent some $18 million building those new schools. Had it been properly addressed and they built those schools 10 or 15 years ago, we could have built those schools for 10 or 20% of that. Thank you so much.